How y'all doing out there? I'm gonna be posting some videos to YouTube on painting made easy. Show people a few tricks of the trade. I have about half of my life in painting residential and commercial, new work, new construction, and I wanted to go ahead and get this out there and keep an eye on this particular video, and I'm going to be posting more to it of actual jobs, painting shutters, and I have some VHS tapes of recordings of spraying some T111 siding, and go over uh, the purchase of brushes. It's best to get a good quality nylon polyester brush, good quality brush, and always clean it up when you get done. And you'll always have a nice brush. Some of my brushes are 3, 4 years old, and once the paint sets up in the heel, you just it's pretty much over. But I'm gonna go over a lot of things, and we'll touch base on brushes, work pots, uh, how to load your brush, and minimize dripping. Of course, I don't have to mask things off. I paint freehand, so I pretty well mastered my brush, and I know what it can and can't do. But I wanted to go over, brushes, roller sleeves, and other things like this to help those homeowners that have a bedroom they need to paint, or maybe just accent their shutters. Paint the outer edges of their shutters. We'll have wood, they have vinyl shutters. We'll touch base on prep work, stuff like that. Right now, I just got done spraying all the ceilings in my home, and applied oil-based kills. It's the first time they've been painted. The house is, 10, 11 years old. I really waited a little bit too long. Popcorn in a controlled environment, humidity-free, always being in the home, which I have. Uh, Popcorn, as it ages, I usually recommend that the ceilings be painted within a 8-year period if they've never been painted before. And this is not really to make them whiter unless you smoke or have a yellowed ceilings. But if your ceilings are so nice and white, it's to paint them is to re-adhere the popcorn to the ceiling. And as time goes on, and say you leave the house vacant for 2 or 3 months with no air conditioning, the house will feel full of humidity, especially in Florida, areas of high humidity, Georgia, stuff like that, the East Coast and stuff. We have a lot of humidity, and if you leave a home vacant, waiting for a rental people or something of that nature, the humidity can build up, and it fatigues the popcorn. So, in my case, I've lived in my home, and so we don't have a lot of humidity affecting the ceilings in the house because we never went without having the central on. So, but I did wait a pretty good while. I waited a little over 10 years, and of course, I used the oil-based kills. And the reason I used oil-based kills because it, you don't have any waiting period. By the time you spray out the ceilings and you get to the end, you can literally clean your machine out, set up in bright white, and come right back behind it and spray the ceiling out. There's really no waiting period. Whereas if you use like a Kills #2 latex, it's waterborne. It has a slower drying period, and you don't want to weigh the popcorn down. The oil-based Kills is lighter when it goes on. Uh, it has a moisture barrier. You get a lot of benefits from it, and a stain blocker. moisture barrier, and it also the paint sits well on top of it. You got a nice watertight material on there, so when you set your flat white down on there, man, it's beautiful. Comes just as white as it can get. And like I say, the kills number two is the waterborne, and it's for mild staining. Uh, the oil base is for bad, you know, really heavy stains, smoking, maybe small fires, stuff like that. But I use it because it's got a turnaround time. Like I say, you spray it on, and by the time you get to the end of the ceilings, you can turn right around, clean it up, and come right back. And it evaporates quickly, dries quickly, and that's the reason why I use oil-based kills. Now, it has a higher odor, and it's a little more problematic. You know, you got to have thinner to clean it up, and thinner is not 24 cents a can no more. Like, it's worse than gas and milk. Gee whiz. But anyhow, we're going to go over a lot of these things, what you can and can't do, and when you got trim in your home and you don't know if it's oil or latex, and I've seen a lot of homeowners put latex over oil trim and just ruin it. And we'll talk about some possible fixes for that, which are just slim to none, but there is a few tricks that you can do to toughen up the skin. Not much to do with adhering, but you can put a material over it that will have a harder finish and least likely to scratch and peel, but you're not going to have any help with adhering. That lady, her baseboards are done in oil, and she put latex over them, and then every time she vacuumed, the vacuum hit the baseboard or rubbed up against it, stuff, it peeled off. And if it peels off in nice sheets like that, a lot of times, you know, if you want to spend a little effort, get your grandkids or something and have them just peel it off. Uh, I've seen this many, many, many times. And we'll talk about how do you know whether, if you have trim in your home and you don't know if it's a semi-gloss oil or semi-gloss, a lot of homes are done in latex, but that don't rule out oil. That just tells you that new construction, if your home is older, the older your home, the more likely it is to have oil base. Oil's been kind of, you know, the latexes have, you know, provide just as much service. They don't yellow. Oil base has a tendency to yellow over a period of time, you know, the white. So a lot of people aren't using oil. Now my house is in high gloss oil, all my trim. So I'd be sure to tell the homeowner, whoever bought this house, that is oil, because like I say, newer homes don't normally have an oil-based product on the trim. So we'll touch base on a whole bunch of things, but just keep watching uh, this site here, because I'm going to be posting some videos. I got my camera set up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to accent my shutters. They're already accented, but I'm going to re-accent them. I'm going to change out the color, and we're going to be painting just the border, edges, and just the border around the louvers. So uh, they're vinyl shutters, and when vinyl shutters are new, they have a oil film on them, you know, just from the new vinyl. And water-based products don't stick well to these types of vinyl, or any vinyl really that's new. Now, if your vinyl's older and it's lost its sheen, or you rub it and it's got a chalky film, you wash that shutter off, and 9 out of 10 times you can paint it with the latex material, quality material. So if they have that oily resinous base, I would recommend using an alkaline primer. I'd use Kills. Kills, they say, oh, painter, all these painters use Kills. Kills this, kills that, kills this. Well, the reason why is because it does what it says it's going to do, and it does adhere to just about everything it touches, and it is a good moisture barrier and sealer, and it stops yellowing and bleeding of woods or whatever you go over. So there's a lot of benefits of using oil-based kills. Now the latexes, when they first come out years ago, they were expensive, and I tried them on a smoke damage ceiling, and boy, I lost my tail. I had pretty heavy smoke damage on ceilings, and I used latex kills, kills number 2, and I shot these ceilings, and then I had to wait till the next day. So right away I noticed that my procedures were changing. It was causing me to money. You know, it's a job that takes an extra day. You got to come out there, set up, clean up this, that. So, you know, I shot these ceilings and come back next day because it's wet. And in those older the ceilings, you don't want to put too much weight on the popcorn. The more paint you stick to the ceiling while it's wet, the heavier it is, and it has a tendency. I've sprayed garages with popcorn and told the owner it's a 50-50 chance. There ain't no way you can paint these popcorn ceilings with a roller. There's no way, because the roller manipulates the popcorn, and if it's loose and it's lost its integrity, the wet paint, the water, the vehicle in the paint, all it does is peel it right off. The water, what little bit of adhering that popcorn has, when that water hits it, and plus weight, I've seen 5-foot in diameter pieces of popcorn, sprayed it on, sprayed it, and big sheets just ting, hit the floor, slap. So if you got popcorn ceilings and integrity, if they're real, get your finger and touch it, and if it's real crumbly, you got a 50-50 chance of saving them with an oil-based kills. It goes on and it evaporates quickly, and you want to make sure it's saturated. Don't just spray a little fine fog. You have to have a wet surface. When you spray those ceilings, that popcorn's got to be wet, shiny, wet, wet. So in order for the kills to absorb through the popcorn and re-adhere the popcorn to the sheetrock. So you got to have it wet. You can't just spray on a little fine fog just to cover up the yellow and that's it. You gotta wet them. And once you do that, then you make it through, then you literally save your seedlings. But like I say, moisture is #1 enemy. Kills, if you use the kills, you got a turnaround time. By the time you do it, you come right back around and start putting the latex on. This saves time. And like I say, in that smoke damage sealing I done, I sprayed that latex on. I had to wait the next day, and then I come in and I sprayed flat white on it, and it bled. The kills just didn't have enough blocking power to stop the kill the stain out. So I decided, well, it bled through some. I figured I'd shoot another coat of flat white on it. Shot another coat of bled. You know, so I knew it was going to bleed, but I figured it just might make it a rental property. And I thought, well, so what I had to end up doing is going down and get some kills. I shot the ceiling with kills, put one coat of flat on it. But see, I ended up painting that ceiling 4 times. So I lost my tail on that, trying out the new latex kills. Now this was probably back in, I don't know when it was. Had to have been in the late 80s or something like that when they come out with these latex kills, stain blockers. But anyhow, I'm going to go over brushes, roller sleeves, all these other items, and then I'm going to take and post some video. So you all stay posted, keep an eye on this site, and I will have some video up and running for your information. You